Hi, good evening, good afternoon. I guess depending on what time of day you're looking at this. I'm Doug Davis, and this is our open house video for the curriculum night for this year. Some of this stuff will feel quite familiar to what I sent out before the start of school, but I tried to change it around a little bit so you don't feel like you're watching the exact same thing. Once again, contact information on this main screen. I do have college degrees. I went to Utah State University in Logan, Utah, and then I did a master's at City University, which is a master's of education, not a master's in teaching. And I've been an Islander for 26 years, and this is my 27th year there now. I changed the quotes up, and I used this one with the kids the other day in one of the Zoom calls. The more you know, the less you know you know. It's interesting to see the look of bewilderment on people's faces when you tell them this quote. The second quote on there, I won't read that one to you, but that is a former student of mine. This was published in the Mercer Island High School newspaper. She was I think a valedictorian and a perfect score on her ECTs, and I just thought this is really good advice coming from one student to another student. And then the last one, of course, there's a gazillion Albert Einstein quotes, but I like this one too because it's just basically saying we got to take risks if we're going to learn. This is a picture of Moab, Utah. This is where I grew up. This is the Colorado River looking out towards the LaSalle's. It's just on the north side of town. And then here are a couple more pictures. Delicate Arch, which is one of the most famous pictures in or of southern Utah. And you'll notice the copyrights on these are to Tom Till. Tom Till was my English teacher when I was in high school in Moab. He took a leave of absence to see if he could make money as a photographer and never came back. So this is my family. My son Dylan just graduated this year, class of 2020, and Ryder and my wife Tawny. Dylan is headed off to the University of Washington this fall. Well, as off to the University of Washington as you can get given online school. Ryder is an 8th grader at Islander Middle School. And some of the things I enjoy doing, I love to go skiing. This is a picture up at Whistler with some family friends of ours. I love cycling. The curvy road there you can see was the descent of the Stelvio, which is just outside of Bormio in Italy. And so we came up the other side of that where there was 47 switchbacks, and you can see those switchbacks on the way down going into Switzerland. The picture in the top left-hand corner, that's me riding my indoor trainer in the wintertime. My wife would be embarrassed if she knew I put that picture on there, so don't tell her. Curriculum overview. Once again, this is similar to what I sent earlier in the year. The nature of science is where we are now, and we've begun working on this. We're into the scientific method, asking questions, knowing and studying variables and experimentations and so on. And then we will move into matter. The matter will mostly begin with solids, liquids, and gases and some basic properties. We should be able to do a bunch of labs at home with this unit as well. Same with chemistry. The chemistry is just a little bit more advanced version of matter, going from the simple solid, liquids, and gases to mixtures, solutions, elements, and compounds. And then classification is just to get us really started in understanding how biology is organized. The cells and cell processes, I really hope we're back in school by the time cells roll around because we have so many microscopes at school for the students to use. It would be fantastic if we could use the microscopes. If not, I imagine I can create some type of online microscope unit using images of some of the different cells that we would have been looking at. Hopefully that will help, but it would be fantastic if we were on the microscopes. Cell processes, you can read the main processes that are there as well. And bacteria and viruses. The funny thing about viruses is that we were studying viruses when school was out, and we had just finished one of my favorite labs of the year, which was called the Physies Lab, which is a lab that teaches kids how to trace and track a virus to find out who patient number 1 was. And then genetics and, of course, evolution. I use a standard grading scale for it's percent-based, point-based. I don't weight anything in an unusual manner. And you can see the percentage grades that are there now. I think the very bottom one is mostly cut off, but with the letter grade F, but anything under a 60% is considered to be an F. I don't anticipate anyone getting an F because the goal for me is to make sure no one is there to work with the students and the families to make sure that we have students earning satisfactory passing grades as well. I don't, like I said, I don't weight anything. The nature of my course, the assignments weight themselves out on their own. Philosophy, I just came up with this today actually when I wrote this, and I was thinking what matters to me the most. You can see what matters to me the most. There are so many other things I believe in, but I think these are some of the things that matter to me the most. The second bullet from the bottom, the best learning is done by doing. That's just a testament to my belief that I don't really want to use the textbooks. I want the kids to be doing science. Next up, I did allude to this earlier in the year. Once again, it looks like the bottom of the screen may be slightly cut off, and I don't know if I can scroll up on that. I'll try here really quick. No, I can't. Sorry. Now I'm going to jump back. So Schoology versus Skyward. Remember, Schoology is where you want to go to find out what the assignments are and when those assignments are due. You don't want to think of Schoology at all as a grade book. Skyward is the grade book, and all the grades are reported in Skyward. So they kind of both need to be checked on a regular basis. Skyward, I would maybe check every 2 weeks, every 10 days or something like that, just to see if your students are submitting and getting scores for their work. The biggest thing generally on there is missing work, and I'm flexible with missing work. I believe that if the students are turning the work in, even if it's late, they're still learning. However, on time is preferred. FAQs. And so if you have some questions that you might have for me regarding the curriculum or how I teach or anything else, if you would email them to me, I can put together an FAQ, and then I can send that out through my distribution list. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. I hope you didn't count the number of times I used the word or and. And from that, I will say goodnight and enjoy your evening, and let's have a great school year. Thank you for your support and help.